Hello, beer tubers, and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter, the Master of Hoppers. Today, joined by
Brett.
of Adambier and Otto Frelick.
Yeah, hi.
You guys, if you're in the Danish beer scene, you probably know Frelick because Frelick has a brewery called Bad Seed Brewing, and I actually just started working there. 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Which has been fun so
Yay.
far. Yay! Frelick and I used to work together back in the day. We've done one video together as well where I try one of your beers.
Yeah.
Actually.
Long ago.
Long ago at Basement Beer Bar, which was when you resurrected Bad Seed Brewing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And we used to work together in a local bottle shop. And actually, for batch 100, we're going to be trying to brew an Adambier.
Yes.
So we're doing research.
This is a kind of research for getting that recipe down.
Yeah.
That beer.
So the first beer we had, Frelick bought, which was Hair of the Dog Adam, which is probably the most iconic Adam beer in modern days. It's a historic, extinct, pretty much beer style from Germany, from Dortmund. Often it would have a little bit of a smoky character, lots of German malts. It was top fermented, so it's an ale, and often also soured and aged in barrels. But the modern interpretations are not sour, at least not any I've had. And Brett had Adam for the first time. How did you like it?
I liked it very much. Very classic.
Yeah.
Cool.
just
Nicely
had a-
well balanced, nice mouthfeel texture. Yeah.
Yeah, it had that really nice, leathery, smoky
Yeah.
profile, which I remember from back in the day reviewing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and falls into kind of its own category. I mean, it's not close. It's not super far from a double bock or
No.
a barley wine.
No,
But it's not really any of the two.
no,
also
because
talking
it's
about it,
much
that notes of
lighter and
malty
drier.
porter.
Yeah. And
It's,
it has that slight smoky quality
Yeah.
to it.
so, Side Project also did one, and this is actually a tribute to Adam. So we got a bottle from Side Project of their Längst. This is batch number 3 or blend number 3, and basically they tried to do something similar to Adam, just the Side Project way. So much more intense in terms of just using crazy amounts of grain, stronger alcohol, and then of course also barrel aging, which is a big part of Side Project. And I think it doesn't say on the bottle, but I believe this vintage here is in Buffalo Trace bourbon barrels, something like that. But as they say here on the sides themselves, it's brewed with 7 different German malts, fermented with a fruity yeast strain, and then aged for 18 months in the barrels. So
Sounds good.
it sounds good, and it's carbonated almost, bottled almost still.
Yeah.
So it's not going to have a ton of carbonation, but I guess you
You
can
can
already
see that
see
it has
that.
a bit.
Yeah, but you can see on the head it's soft carbonation.
Yeah.
But maybe that's to, I don't know, historically, would it have a lot of carbonation? Probably not.
It would probably be, I guess, maybe stored in a barrel and
Yeah.
served
Yeah,
from a barrel.
exactly.
Yeah, I
Exactly.
think so.
Then, I mean, probably pretty correct historically
Yeah.
to have it pretty still like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess.
In terms of color, it's similar, but it
it's a bit
looks a
darker.
little bit like a stout.
Yeah, just more dense and dark.
Yeah.
I still get some red notes in the bottom of the glass.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Because the Adam was just like the darkest shade of brown. And the head that's there is like lightly beige. But yeah, let's check out the aroma on Längst. Yeah, it's definitely a very bourbon forward
yeah,
beer.
It's very looking forward.
It's really
very
it's really leathery. I see that, but I think it's more like a bourbon or just
also
woody,
just barrel-
charry.
yeah, barrel
leathery
char.
note.
Yeah. But you don't get that depth of barrel unless you barrel age it for this long.
Yeah.
Like that's why you get that, charry, almost like tobacco barrel kind of thing.
It's got a lot of tobacco.
Yeah,
I agree
loads
with
of
that.
tobacco, like cigar tobacco, and like just like really dense tobacco notes. There's definitely also like some dark, fruity, kind of almost like a chocolate covered kind of dates or figs or something like that. Like, because I get a lot of like chocolatey, kind of dark chocolate vibes.
Yeah.
But there's also like that leather, almost like there's an umami tone to this.
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
yeah. Absolutely.
And that could be where the Adambier fingerprint in this beer lies, with that
Yeah.
leathery
Umami touch.
feeling. I don't get a lot of smoke in this.
No.
I don't really get anything, but as we spoke about when we discussed building a recipe for an Adambier,
Yeah.
we talked about, so historically, or at least Hair of the Dog uses peat, and side projects say they use peated malts, but we've discussed using so little of it that you actually don't get a sense of smokiness, but rather have so little smoke malt that it contributes to like that leathery feeling. adds complexity without smoky notes.
Yeah.
Which I mean, you can say that about both this beer, but also Adam. Adam was maybe a touch more smoky than this.
Yeah, but that's probably because it's not barrel aged in bourbon.
Yeah, of course.
But it has a big new school American kind of bourbon fudgy caramel
exactly.
kind of vibe as
Exactly,
well, which is really nice. Lots of vanilla. It's much. You can definitely also smell why this is not a lot of people's favorite side project beer if you compare it to some other side project stouts, because they're much more sludgy, brownie batter, thick. Like you can just smell it instantly. Like this is more dry. Yeah. It's more like in the vein of Adam and more classic and old school. And I think a lot of people have a hard time with that, especially with new money trends, or if you want to call it that. Yeah. But we've talked a lot. Should we try it?
Yeah, I think so.
Let's do it. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
And cheers to 10K on YouTube.
Yeah, fuck, man.
By the way.
Congrats.
Cheers. It's still very rich, actually.
Yeah, fuck.
Loads of leather on the aftertaste.
Yeah.
Like it's really drying, like a dry, leathery finish. And lots of like charry, woody.
Pipe tobacco.
That's really good.
Dark chocolate.
It's actually more old school than I thought it'd be, which I actually really like. I think it still tastes somewhat like something like Hair of the Dog Adam, just more beefed up.
Yeah.
And there's definitely also maybe a bit more of a roasty profile, but I can't figure out if it's actually 100% if it's roasted malt or charred barrel. I think part of it is like the charriness of wood too. Like I'm just getting like lots of like smoky, almost burnt woodiness.
I guess they would, think it through the whole process. So that, of course, when you barrel age it, you guess that you kind of figure out you will get some charry notes.
Yeah. But I think that even though it looks almost like a stout, imperial stout.
Yeah.
And it smells and tastes a lot like a dark American barrel-aged barley wine. But it still has that a bit of extra malty richness, I guess. Maybe some roasted nuttiness or that big leathery feeling that you don't get that. It's not a trademark of a barley wine.
Nope.
But that's kind of what sets this apart, at least in my book.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like, and especially like the leathery tone, and also the big thing is like the dryness. It's a much drier beer. Same with Air of the Dog Adam. Like it's dry, and it's actually really drinkable for a 12% beer. Although like you have to enjoy the flavor of spirit too, because it has that spirit warmth without being crazy boozy in my book at least. But it's like it's really like dry and very much like modernized Adambier.
I think like to me the barrel up front gives like that caramelly sweetness, but then the finish kind of plays together with the malt, because the finish has that slightly charry, woody thing that plays together with the like leathery malt base.
Yeah. There's a really chewy kind of caramel malt flavor to it as well,
especially up front.
It actually reminds me a lot of breweries' old ales. Their anniversary beers.
I just think the base is a bit more dense. With this one.
This one's a bit more dense.
I was just about to say, you said that it has a big barrel character, but I still think the base is solid and hefty enough to carry the barrel. I think so. And that's sometimes my issue with the brewery, is that I think the base beer becomes a little too thin, and of course they also have that Belgian house yeast strain that makes it a bit fizzy. I would just say that I think it's not a huge base like PBT.
No.
But it's still a pretty potent base that that's still there, although it's been barrel aged for 1.5 years.
I love that they do something like this as well. And that not everything is like these thick, crazy beers. Like there's a bit of old moneyness, or old money kind of beer as well in their portfolio. Yeah. I'm like debating 94, 95. I think for me, I think it's really fucking great though. Maybe a year in the cellar would make it even more like palatable. Like just everything can smooth out a bit.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I don't think it needs oxidation, but I think it could benefit from not as much bourbon heat.
Yeah, just like mellowing it a little bit.
Integrating a bit,
Yeah. Small 95.
Yeah, I'm thinking something like that. Like just...
Yeah. I think it's early. I definitely think this is world-class beer, but it's early world class. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
we grade as per level of enjoyment. So, but I would say it's early world class. Yeah, I don't think you can find a lot
something
of
along like 94, 95
style better barrel aged. So, yeah.
Besides maybe Hair of the Dog, but we haven't had that in years. So, but maybe we should try and get some.
Yeah.
Do you want to grade it, or do you want to just give a final thought, or what do you want to do?
Well, I'm not used to your grading system, but I used to be a rate beer.
Oh yeah. So on average on rate beer out of 5, isn't that the average?
No, it's still from 0 to 100, isn't it? Like total.
The grade you give.
But you give us
from 0.5 to 5.0.
Yeah, and then in the end.
So this would probably, if I was rating this one on rate beer, I'll probably land somewhere around 4.3, I guess.
Yeah. I think that correlates a lot to like a 95-ish on our scale as well.
Yeah, 94, 95, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of
it's very delicious. The barrel profile is just crazy good. Just the whiff I got there was just like my dad used to smoke this tobacco every Christmas, and it's like this pipe tobacco. I think this is really well done. I mean, the barrel character, the freshness and the quality of the bourbon barrels is really shines through, and the base beer just lives up to it, owns up to the barrels. So great beer.
Yeah, it's a great modern interpretation of an Adambier, but a lot of people don't agree. But I think it's because
it still has high grades.
It still has high grades, but not compared to other side project beers.
No.
But that's because of what it is. But yeah, I think like this when this was released, it was sitting on the web shop for like a month.
That's insane.
Which is crazy, and they ended up putting it in packs with another release just to get I don't know if it was to get rid of it or whatever. It was like. What? Well, that's because it says Adambier and not barrel-aged barley wine or barrel-aged imperial stout.
Yeah,
I think so. But it's a fantastic, a small world class. I think so. Yeah. It's fantastic beer. It's awesome. We got to try it. Mm-hmm. So, if you guys had a chance to try any of the variants of side project Längst, let us know what you thought of it. And also in terms of the whole CO2 thing, there's definitely carbonation. It's just really soft.
I like it,
but I think it suits it.
Yeah. I think it suits it very well. I was kind of nervous that it was going to be like too little, but it's actually like a sweet spot, kind of a sweet spot for this beer.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. So, if you guys had any other vintages, as I said, let us know. And if you've had Hair of the Dog in recent times, what do you think? It'd be fun to hear. And as always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Ring the bell for future notifications about videos. And we're going to say cheers in some bourbon barrel aged Adambier.
Cheers.
And see you guys in another beer review.
In another life.